I'm going to use my iPad today, I think. And I've changed the time a little bit because, oops, put this in. Hold on a second. Okay, so I know I'm usually, what's that noise? I know I'm usually on at around 3, but now I have to do, I might switch back to 1 o'clock on here. Yeah, my mom and my sister have left the United States, went back to South Africa. So now I have a little bit more time to work on what I have to do, like my YouTube channel. I did something to my jaw last night. I don't know. It's very strange. It feels like it's moving a little bit. So I'm going to switch over from talking about Asia into talking about, it's called Afropiano. 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 I don't know if it's pronounced correctly. And oddly enough, even, you know, I'm from South Africa, half American, half South African. But back in like the 2000s and before that, when I was doing music in South Africa, there wasn't something that was called Afropiano. It's obviously a new word that people are starting to use in the music industry to explain beats from Africa. At one point, I actually thought it was a group, and I think a group has actually used, like a band has actually used the word Afropiano for their band. But technically, from what I've learned, it's a new beat kind of rhythm concept kind of thing going on for music in Africa. So it's not just one section of Africa, it's like all of Africa. It's become like a combination sound. So the group that I'm working with that deals with, it's called Surf Music, it's an Asian based company. They have a branch in the United States. And what has happened now is they're wanting to not just have like a European Western kind of sound to their music, but they're looking at Afropiano, which is like the newest sound that's happening from Africa that they're trying to mold. And it is happening. I mean, I've heard some tracks that BTS has actually done, and they have used Afropiano, which is the beats from Africa, for their music. So what I'm doing now is I'm molding those sounds into what I'm doing. Today I'm going to talk through what I've done so far with production. My phone's charging, so I could probably use my phone to show everybody how to create the beats on GarageBand on here. I'm almost certain that everybody is using this iPhone format to create it, because not everybody has a drum set. So I don't have a drum set. I used to have a drum set. I was like a drummer in a band at one point. But if you don't have any of that, you work with what you got. So GarageBand and molding it into Logic Pro X is the way. I'm going to have you listen to what I've done now. There's a little bit more I need to do with the music, with the piano part. And that will be today's project. So you guys can see how I've done the beats. This is what we're going to do today. A little bit of beat making. I have to complete this so the group that I'm working with right now is directly connected to Sony. And we are getting on the ball with creating things that will be used for artists, possibly for Sony. We'll see eventually what happens, but I need to get everything right first. So you guys are watching firsthand how this is going to be done. I don't want to get too crazy here. So everything I did myself, right? It's just a beat, and then I added the keyboard. And I am African. Okay, don't judge a book by its color. Literally, my skin doesn't portray me for being white. I'm not white, I'm mixed. Okay. So I've been asked to develop Afro beats for, my mom is mixed South African, they just went back to South Africa. So I'm going to talk through what I just did here. So this is stuff that I just did. Okay, what you're seeing and listening to is what I've been working on. Okay, so I need to add, I need to break up the piano a little bit. Okay, so what I have to do now is you're hearing just a repetitive sound. All those parts that you hear here on the beats, I actually did individually on. So I didn't just use loops. I'm going to take this out. My phone is. That's why I switched over to my iPad today, because my phone's just not charged. How are you doing, Bradley? Sorry, I switched. I think my time, I might change back to 1 o'clock, because now I have to do Poshmark, which is where I generate money for my clothing side, and I have to do lives at maybe around 3 o'clock again. So I'm switching around the times, which is frustrating. My mom and my sister have just left back to Johannesburg and Cape Town, South Africa. So now I have my time back, thank goodness. It was driving me bananas since I wasn't able to do anything, right? When family is here, it's like they take over like your entire life. If I had kids, I don't have kids, I think the same thing would apply and I wouldn't have time to do what I'm doing. Oh yeah, it's for real. It's like craziness. Okay, so I'm going to go through how I created that beat. So that beat I did myself. I did something to my jaw yesterday. I think feels like it's out of joint. It's like moving, not the way it should. So these sounds you hear over here, I created with a combination of things. I actually used drums to make the sounds on GarageBand. It's not loud enough, that's a bit soft. So all the bass stuff that you hear me doing on my, let me have you listen to this so you can see what I've done with beats. I played drums before, I just don't have a drum set. So the solution is, if you don't have a drum set, start using things like GarageBand, which actually gives you variations. I'll show you now, variations of drum sets. I might have to start a new one to open up so you guys can see. I don't want to mess this one up. So, oh yeah. No, drumming is great. I haven't drummed, honestly, on a like acoustic drum set for years, and I don't have a electric drum set, and we have a very small space. So what happens now is I need to utilize what there is, and I find that GarageBand does a good enough job. So if you're wanting to create beats without a drum set, that is a possibility. So you have to obviously do it with individual drum, because you can't play, like, you don't have drumsticks. You're not like playing the drums with a stick, right? There are two different ways to play. I used to play jazz drum format, so this is like, yeah. You have to use your fingers, which is a little bit more trickier. So when you're creating, I don't know if you guys have tried this, but when you're creating a beat, you literally have to break it apart and create individual drum beats and then layer it. So what you're hearing now is exactly what I've done here. Okay, so we're going to go back to this. Even the shakers, right? Same thing. The shakers are generally the same, right? But I literally had to create, you hear the bass drum? That's me playing it individually with my fingers. We'll even take out the keyboard. Let's listen to this. I'll put that on mute so you guys can see. And there are actually two layers to the drum set there. I'm playing two different. Here, I'll have you listen to it here. So you can create individual. So instead of just using the phone to use loops, you can create those individual pieces as your own track. As your own, you can layer and then create your own loops. Oh, did you not know that? You should know this. This is good stuff to know. Especially if you're doing production, I think it's kind of useful to, I personally think, this is what I'm thinking. I think a lot of the times people, like back in the day, you always need to have a drum set in a studio space, but the new technology is allowing us to do so many different things just from the phone that having a full-on drum kit in a space that might not necessarily have a soundproofing or a roof over the house, or, you know, say for instance, if you're in Africa, there are different parts of Africa that might not necessarily, so they might have just the iPhone, and this is probably, my suspicion is this is what they're probably using, the iPhone to create the beats and then put those beats into their production sounds, and then, because I lived in, I mean, I'm African, I'm like South African, but yeah, so the production is like in rural areas, it's going to be a little harder to find those drum kits, and I think an iPhone is a practical way to find the solution to transfer those sounds into like a track and then produce it into a piece. So the group that I'm working with right now is wanting beats that are sounding a little bit more African. I have a whole bunch of tracks that I've put together. I did a little bit more kind of Asian-like sounds in some of my tracks because I also lived in Japan. So I'm picking up sounds and bringing them together on a larger spectrum, which is what I've been asked to do. So I'm walking you guys through all of this. What I need to do now is separate the chords. I think it's a little too busy. I'm not going to be able to play Afropiano on the YouTube. You're gonna, you know, I mean, that's something I cannot do because YouTube has like that strict rule of copyright infringement. So I have to kind of show people from like ground zero how it's done. Let me move this, it's a little in the way. I have too many things going on here. So let's see what I need to do here. I'm gonna just add, we've done the beats. A little bit of break. And what I've also noticed is Afropiano is also, I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you've listened to any of the African music that's pop, most of it's in a minor key. I actually double-checked this with, I had to double-check it with ChatGPT, and it said absolutely 100%. Most of them are created in minor keys, which is sort of interesting. It creates the ambiance. So, let me see if I can bring it. No. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put it on the offbeat, right? This is the beginning of something. There's nothing that's really happening yet, but it's the general beat and the creation of a process that I'm working on right now. going to get a new part here. Hold on a second. Let me see. Is that an empty space? Yeah, that's an empty space. Okay. So we're going to, what you're going to see now is you're going to hear me just add, add a section over here. I'm trying to, it's been a while since I've been on the live because my mom and my sister have been here from South Africa and they took up my entire life. I can even show you pictures. My mom is mixed South African. And I think I might be the lightest in my family, which is very upsetting, but I've had to explain to people, no, I am actually mixed, hey. This is like a thing for me. I get so frustrated when people don't understand. So my mom, this is my mom. Let's see a better picture. Oh, she's not gonna like me posting that. Here, that's my mom. Madam over here, that's my mom. Okay, they just came back from, they left the States yesterday. They arrived back in South Africa. She's a music teacher in South Africa. I think she's retired, but that's what she did. So I come from a background of musicians. That's like the thing, right? That's like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I just chose not to be the singer. I chose to do the production side. And from what I heard the other day is we actually have a pretty recognized family member that's no longer with us, who actually was quite famous in South Africa as a drummer for the jazz world. Chris Adams. I don't think it's a recognized name here, but in South Africa, everybody knows who the drummer is. That's like my uncle or whatever. So I come from a background of drummers, apparently. So that's like a thing for me. Hey, okay. So we're gonna do an offbeat here. Let's just see. Almost like reggae. And then I can take out the sections. Okay, so we're gonna, oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, you guys are gonna watch me do this. Oh gosh. Here I am being a little anxious because I wanna make sure that everything doesn't trip. And then I could probably change one of the sounds to a different instrument later, but for now we're gonna just do, where? So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a loop off of that. Let's see if it sounds right. And then I'm going to show you how to create a loop from here. Let me just see what we did. And then I don't have to keep playing it, right? Yeah, that's definitely... So simple. Hi, how are you? Marcus, sorry, I chose to do an earlier time because I think I'm trying to make up the days. I know I haven't gone live and I understand that people are like, where is she? So I'm going to do, I might go back to 1 o'clock. I have to see how I feel in this case. I have to do my Poshmark as well, which makes it a little bit more interesting because now I have to jump around from different platforms. But I do miss you guys, hey, make no mistake. I miss coming over here and talking through things. I haven't really specified music with beat making the past couple of sessions. I think I've been talking a lot about a book that I've published, the new company that I've started working between, which is called Surf Music, which is They have like they have connections from around the world, which is the whole point of me doing this. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I haven't been. My mom and my sister came down from South Africa, so I had to spend time being a family member. I'm not used to it because I don't live with them, and they live far, far away from me. I'm living in the States, they live in South Africa. So I do have to say, coming back on and trying to trying to figure out a time now to kind of like get back into it is a thing, which is what I'm doing now. So I feel I might have to come back on during like 1 o'clock-ish, because then 3 o'clock I can do my Poshmark and I can get those, because I get paid on Poshmark. So I'm like, I have to do Poshmark. And TikTok, you know, there are lots of things that happen on TikTok. I've done the TikTok thing. I've tested it out. I don't know. I still like the vibes here. I mean, the comparison between the lives there. I mean, you know what I think? I think TikTok is a little bit more showy. Like, this is more real. Like, you're getting to know a real person here rather than an act. And I don't think I can't do an act. I'm like real. I can't be something I'm not. I'm not going to just sit there, wear a wig, and do some sort of like, ooh, a heart, thank you for the heart. I mean, I just can't do that. It's just not, it's not me. I will absolutely have a disastrous experience if I try that. Thank you for the ice cream. It's just not, yeah, no, I can't do it. I'm like, you know what, you know, I can go do my TikTok thing, but I don't think I need to have to play a role in trying to be what everybody else is doing. I cannot. It's like, you're not real. Why are you trying to be? I just can't do it. Okay, so we're going to test this out. I'm going to go back into this. You guys are seeing me create a loop from a piano part. I don't think I've done this before on here. So what we're going to do is, I don't know, let me see. It might be a little bit off. But why is this not reacting? Okay, so what we're going to do is File, go into Copy. Oh, sorry, not File. Edit, Copy. As long as it's on, if you highlight the section that you have, like either a keyboard or a drum set section, and you have the line to make sure that it's in the right place there, you should automatically be able to do paste. Yes, and it pasted. Let me just see what it sounds like before I do the next one. I think I need to, hold on. This part at the beginning, I need to, well, let me see. Before I do anything, let's see what it sounds like first. I don't know, it might have... Yep. Okay, so... Okay, so then that means I need to... I don't know, what's it doing here? Oh, this is sometimes why... I don't know if this makes sense. Sometimes it's probably better not to do loops and actually do the whole entire thing. You'll see why. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to play the whole entire thing because I knew that was going to happen. Sometimes it's not perfect. What I do find is if you can create the loops off of GarageBand's thing, the GarageBand from your phone, and then transfer, which is what I did the beats to, into your Logic, then you can create those beats because they make it so much easier to create the loops. This is what a loop looks like on your phone. I'm usually using my phone for the lives, so I never get a chance to do it on here, but today I switched it over because my phone was actually... So what it does is, here, see, this creates solid loops, and those loops will be repetitive, and what happens is those loops you can transfer into your Logic. You have to send it through like a phone number and then an email address, and then that can be downloaded onto your computer and then transferred into a wave onto your logic, basically. So this is just, I think if you're going to create loops, it might be easier to do it from your phone, believe it or not. You know, so that was my approach. So we're going to do this over again. It just didn't work out as a loop through this format. If I were to do it, but the keyboard is very small on the iPad, so I wouldn't recommend doing chords on the keyboard. You would have to have a keyboard in front of you, or a guitar, or whatever. So. Okay, so. You're going to have to just bear with me here, guys. I'm going to record it again. And then I'll let it run, and then I'm going to do it over again. Give it some space, right? So easy. I mean, I do more complex stuff, but this is what it's requiring. Okay, more space. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm layering it, giving myself a break, and then we'll probably take out some other parts. Break. This is easy to do. If you can get a beat, you can pretty much put any chords together. This is very easy. This is more like, this is simpler than what I usually do. I don't do this kind of stuff. well, I didn't need to, I guess I didn't need to add the last bit. So we can shuffle this back a little. Wait. We probably don't need that part, so let's end it there. Let's see what we got. Okay, so there might be some glitches because I did it all live, and yeah, so it's like all. And because I don't speak Zulu, Tswana, Xhosa, Zambian, none of those African languages, we have to make do with maybe a composition with cables. It's a bit more African, right? I can hear it. Sorry, I missed it. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys are writing so much. Oh, thank you. It's very simple. Hey, this is something, a project I'm working on. I'm sharing it because I feel it's important that you guys see compositions. I think it's for the group that I'm busy working with. They were asking for Afrobeats, Afropiano, that's what it's called, from Africa. So I had to look it up a little bit because we didn't call it that before. There was no name for African beats. We had drum sounds, but this is like a whole different approach. So I'm sort of working off of the subject matter that they've asked for, and then we'll start incorporating. They said they want Korean pop is now incorporating Afropiano into their compositions. So I'm going to come up with some ideas and see where this goes. And we were talking about global understanding. So through that, we're using music as the global interpretation. Yeah, this is what they wanted. They wanted African sounds. So if you close your eyes and you don't look at me, tell me if you think it's more I think it's more African, right? So I made all the drum beats. I used my iPhone. I don't have a drum set, so I use my iPhone to create the loops, right? Okay, so we'll use this as a melody. Yeah, I think that is and the only reason why it does is because I used shakers. I used 2 different types of bass drums. So I didn't use the whole drum set. I don't have like cymbals or anything on there. It's just a bass drum. And I used the drum set that you find on your phone to create the separate parts. And then I think I have a little bit of housey, trancey stuff. I might have to get some more. So some of the loops that you find on GarageBand, I might even look into this now. You guys can watch me find like some sort of housey sound. And there are a lot of echoes when they have voices on there. A lot of the if it's Congolese or if it's French, because in the Congos, obviously, they speak French. It's a collaboration of sounds. So I think they use a lot of echoes now in certain places. In most of the places, even if you listen to Tyla, you hear some of her. So she's from the same community as my mom, which is like, I don't know her personally, but I think there are people that might know her who know me and that kind of those kind of circles. I don't live there anymore. I moved away from South Africa because of just, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be in the States. I feel more American than South African. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, yeah, we're going to continue with the piece. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of this. And we're going to, I think this is a melody we can use. Repeats. So I have to find a place, yeah. Maybe a break there. Okay. So, oops, we're going to test this out. We're going to add another section layer. I have to do this anyway, so I might as well just show you guys what I'm doing. this is something that needs to be done. I guess it's a project that I'm working on. We shall see where this goes. This is for, yeah, we'll see what happens. I was just asked to do this, so now I'm doing it and I'm incorporating it into the lives because I do feel like I haven't done production kind of stuff lately, and I feel like because this is a channel that's supposed to be doing this kind of stuff, I should be getting back into it, and this is opening up that door with another group of people to incorporate this. So that's what you're seeing right now. Okay. New track. Softer, yeah, we'll start with that. We'll change the sounds later. I might use this as a bit more of a bassy sound. We'll see. For now, we're going to... So as you can see, I'm coming up with layers. It's all about layering. It's like a painting. Keyboard, piano. Upright? No. We could. What does that sound? So yeah, I'm composing the piece as we're doing this. I mean, I have sheet music, but it's not what I'm doing. I'm completely coming up with it, with everything on my own mind. This is what I do. Okay. I don't think it matters if it's cute, so I'm going to just change it to processed. No, we don't want processed drum sounds. So we're going to just use that. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if I can... So yeah, that's you're watching me do it in like front of your faces. Okay, and so once I have these down, I'm going to start taking out and sifting different parts. For the layering, it's all about the layers. If you don't have the layers for the track, you can't do anything with it. That's like the whole point, right? Okay, so let's... And they also said I need to test out something like the Unfort is also like, you have Tyler, you have the Unfort, you have Maria Makeba from South Africa. She's no longer around, unfortunately. There was somebody that was called Brenda Fassi. So they were all using these kind of noises when they were doing like their 1980s music. But there was no actual name to the beats. This is like a new pop era, so people are coming up with new names of things every all the time, right? Obviously it's something that I didn't know the name, so now I'm learning. I mean, I know this stuff, but I didn't know what Afropiano was. So if you guys don't know what Afropiano was, check out all the African music from around Africa, and you'll hear it's a very similar sound to, yeah, it all has a similar kind of ambiance to it. Just thinking, I wonder if I should expand the idea. No, it shouldn't be piano. So I've been told not to overdo the piano, which I tend to do a lot. So keep it simple, because the vocals will be the important parts of like the Afropiano type of music. I'm supposed to do like house over this, so you guys are seeing me like create something that I've been asked to do. This is not generally what I would. Yeah, so we're testing it out to see if this works. I hope it does become something, which will be super cool. all? Okay, now we're going to add this in. I think I got it. So I think those layers, so if you were to separate this and some vocals could be placed instead of the piano parts, you would have a duet, which would be nice. So you'd have a female voice and a male voice. Yeah. I think I could, let's see, okay, so, wait, let me try one. Okay, we can do that. Okay, so we're going to start over again and we're going to record that section. Rest a little bit. it sounds like. I might change the instrument, we'll see. There might be some problems there. So as you can see, a production is layers. If you guys don't know, this is what it takes to produce music. I'm 40, I'll be 45 in 2 months. I've been doing production since 1998. So composition since I was 6 years old. So this is not just overnight. I've had to grow my skills over time. So that's what this is. Lots to do still. I'm gonna find a, now we're gonna add some housey sounds to it, right? Yeah, you still need that piano part. I think that's okay. And then there's more to it. Okay, so we're going to add, I think, let's see if I can, I'm not sure if I have all the sounds on here. I'm not even sure if I like all, like you find more rhythms on, if you want to do loops on the new GarageBand, believe it or not. It's so weird. Yeah, there's a lot of, well, let's see. Yeah, you have to do this from scratch. No. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so wait, let me just save this before. What's different on the wait a minute, let me add this, edit, save as, is when you do Logic on your computer versus just playing around on your phone. For some reason, GarageBand on your phone saves automatically, and when it comes down to Logic on your desktop, you have to make sure you save the project. So now we're going to test out some beats. What is going on here? Okay. And then at 3 o'clock I have my Poshmark, so I need to do that next. I'm gonna find, I think I had a few different sounds that I had on here, which I'll transfer. Hold on, let me just see. Okay, I'm gonna try a few different things here. I don't know if I like that. That's interesting, so I might use that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer this onto my computer next. I can show you what I do there. Okay, so what I have to do is I need to record that. There's a whole process. It's not just, oh, let's compose something. It's, okay, so what I need to do now is I need to record those beats on top of this that I have here already. Okay. So I'm recording So I'm going to just record that and then place that on here. African music is very heavy into the rhythms, right? So I'm just busy recording this, and once this is recorded, I'm going to transfer that beat into this, but I need to do a couple of different things first before it goes straight in there. I find that there are more beats you can create on here than you can technically on there. If you have a drum set, it might be just automatically easier to do it on the drum set connected to your, I mean, you have a drum set on here, but I think for moving around purposes, the phone and your iPad become very useful. Okay, let's see what I've just done there. Okay, so now, I think these are the last two, so we're going to take out that sound, this sound, we've already technically used that, and we're going to just focus on, wait, what just happened here? Hold on. Oh, I think these are the new sounds. Hold on. Okay, so that's the sound I'm going to transfer into my computer now, and then you're going to see how it layers into what I've already done. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, send it over, share a song, and then you put it through. You're going to share it as a song, high quality, send it to like your phone number, I guess. I'm not going to show you my phone number. That's top secret. But you can send it to your phone number and then send that to your email and then transfer that download onto your piece. I'll show you how to do that now. I've done this a few times on here. It's not like an impossible task. I definitely did something to my jaw yesterday. That's so weird. I slept and then I woke up and I did something. I think I pulled it or took it out of place. I'm not sure. Okay, so now if we check my phone number, And we're going to, and you're going to send that to, you're going to open it and share it to an email. Okay. And that email will open up, and that will be the loop that you've created with the sounds that you can get from here. So now we're going to go email, inbox, there. Sorry. Okay, that's a little bit of a bassy sound, okay. Okay, so now we're going to do this. Okay, and then that is going to be, I think that is sent down here already. So we're going to open download. What did I download? Download, transfer that. Keep both. I don't necessarily change the names on these. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this next. You're going to create, you're going to just drag this. I think you can just drag this and it will automatically place. Voila. And let's see what it's done. I don't know if it's too much or too little, but we are going to hear what it does. Okay. I think it adds more to it. Definitely has to be there. Can you see what it's done? It's just filled it up a little bit. Oh yeah. And that's how you create beats. So I would recommend using the iPhone as your go-to because you could sit outside and come up with beats and then bring them back inside and then create your own music. Okay? So yeah, that's the way I do it. So I think that's the general idea. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Save it. And I'll work on some more later, but that's the general idea. If you guys haven't seen how I went about doing like tracks, or actually I was creating beats today. Oops, sorry Dior. My baby, sorry, DT, sorry. I'm creating beats today because I was requested to develop something that's a little bit more African. I am South African, I'm mixed. My mom is mixed. I come from a mixed background. I am just lighter skinned because unfortunately I got the light skin syndrome. And just letting you guys know that, yeah, I'll be back. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do it around this time again because I need to do my Poshmark at around 3. I think my 5 o'clock shows are just not working as I want them to on Poshmark. So I'm going to try my best to do my lives here, maybe about 1 o'clock again. We'll see what happens. I have to shift my hours and my times. Now I'm working a little bit more professionally and closer to the music industry in regards to production and working with people within, like, yeah, different parts of the world. So you guys are going to hear a couple of different sounds coming from the space. We're not just focused, and I did say global. So we're not just focused on the local context. We're focused on global sounds because that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's bringing all the sounds from around the world together. And I think the whole point is for that to happen. It's like a reuniting of the world through music, and that's what I see. So, okay, folks, I will see you later. Matashta sairara, which is thank you very much, goodbye. Jane bye-bye. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimashita. And then I will be back. See you. Bye.